Okay, morning, everybody. It's 10:30. I'll call the Public Safety Court Services meeting to order. Becky, would you do roll, please?
I sure will. Mike Copine,
Here.
Keen Hudson,
Present.
Katie White, Mike Pearson, Chris Norberg,
Here.
Kevin Lau.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mike, can I say something? Hi, may I say something?
Good morning.
I'm just here to give a humongous shout out to Terry in animal control. I meant to come up here last month, but things were a little crazy downstairs. I have in December adopted a kitty cat from animal control. And she's been the best thing I've ever brought into my house. She's the sweetest little thing, and animal control had saved her from the snow back in December. And I just want to, if you guys have not been out to animal control, it's a great place. It's run so wonderful. And I just wanted to give Terry just a great shout out for everything you and your office staff do. They were just the nicest, and they all said that they wanted her, but I got her. Uh, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. And if you ever get the opportunity, you need to go out and see what they do out there at Animal Control, because they had 3 cats that they had to save from the weather back in December. And I was lucky to get one of them, and she's been absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much, Terry.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you. I'll make another comment once we get to you, and we'll keep it in the same context. Not that you were incorrect, but it's nice to have the compliment, because I'm sure very seldom does she have, yeah, very seldom does she get a lot of compliments. So it's nice to have that reinforcement for our different groups. Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Are there any changes or corrections to last month's meeting? If not, they'll stand approved as submitted. Okay, good morning, Terry, you're up.
Morning, everybody. Thank you so much. And I didn't get back to your email, but I will change her name. I don't think I got my graphs in on time, so you don't have those, but I will get those next month and double up. I just have a couple things. Our department and the sheriff's department, thanks to them, by the way, we had some horses that were attacked by a bull, and there were 2 deceased horses. We had been out there probably 3 or 4 times in 1 week. 4 of them went to a home. 3 of them are injured, and this lady has taken it upon herself to take over taking care of these horses. And I thank her tremendously. But they are going to need ongoing care, and she's willing to do that. One of those 4 horses is actually going to go to somebody in Amboy, and that is one of the worst ones. She had this bull had horns, and she had the horn just cut her up from the armpit up to like her shoulder. And so she's the worst one, but the lady in Amboy is going to take her. So I just want everybody to know that there are still good people out there that will take care of animals and adopt out some of the animals that we have, so that they're not sitting there for a while. And then the other thing is there's been riffraff on Facebook about cats over on the south side of town here. We have started trapping them last week. So far, we have 10. It'll be a release, a trap and release. So we will have them vetted and ear tipped, and a couple of them will go back to the property, and the others will be distributed to whoever has room. for barn, they're barn cats. So they will be hopefully taken to a barn. So I don't know if anybody has questions on that or
Terry,
comments.
Terry, I mean, this is that incident that you're talking about with the cats. I mean, that's been an ongoing situation that your department has been involved with for I mean,
Yes.
since November. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Well, actually, this has been ongoing for, I would almost say, a few years. The property owners that live there are a little bit hard to work with because they think they're doing right, and all they're doing is the cats are inbreeding. There's more and more and more. So we finally were able to talk to them and let them know that we are going to start trapping and help. I think they're to the point now where they do want help. And that's kind of a big thing to get to with some people because they think they're helping and they're actually not. So, so yeah, it's finally happening.
I got notification on that myself, and I didn't think that it was appropriate for me to go ahead and nose in, but I knew that the administrator plus the county board chairman were involved in some of that, whether it was information wise or whatever it was. But that's where my question was going to go is, did our animal control get involved?
Yes. So in order to have, so right now we have 10 cats. I really have nowhere to put them. The dogs, it's hard to have a feral cat and try and get it out of a trap when the dogs are barking. So everybody's in the same area. So if this is, maybe going to be a thing that we're going to do this, I don't want anybody to get bit. Because I don't have an appointment for them to be spayed or neutered yet. So they have to be, obviously fed. We're not going to leave them in the traps because we have to take the traps back and try to trap more. So it's just kind of a start out thing, I guess, right now.
Who will succumb to the expense of having them spayed or neutered?
That's the county. That's out of the pet population.
Do we have I know there's a certain time for dogs. Is there a time element for cats to have rabies shots, be spayed, be neutered, or anything like that? Do we have an ordinance that covers that?
That's a state, yeah. So cats are still, a cat has to be vaccinated at 4 months, just like dogs. Spay and neuter, some vets will do them as small as like 3 pounds. If it's a female, a male, they'll kind of wait a little bit longer just to make sure that both testicles are dropped. Did that answer your question?
Yes. Do you have any idea how many cats may be left?
Maybe 4 around. I did talk to the city. I wanted to let them know because these ladies were worried that they were going to come and start getting mad at them because there's traps sitting there. So I did call the city and let them know that we have traps there. And then he had mentioned something about Dodge Street, but I can't do multiple groups at one time.
Right.
That's just not feasible. I don't have enough bodies to, because they're a hot mess. They're not used to going in a litter box, which they go in it, but it's just, they're very feral.
Yeah, I've had a relative that tried to domesticate a feral cat, and that's found out the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Boonstra? As far as responsibility, since this is in the city, between the city, and I'm not trying to pit one against the other, But that can mount up some expenses for the county end of things. The city have anything that you might be aware of, or Jeremy, have you heard anything that,
Nothing I'm aware of, no.
No, and this is kind of a, this has been a long standing conversation of city participation in our animal control operation, and more so on a funding level, because the city of Dixon, again, is our largest population base in the county. And for Terry's office, department to really take on the needs that probably the city actually has, we can't accomplish it. So I know Terry's doing the best she can to take care of the county as a whole. But that has been a longstanding issue where, you know, the needs of the city of Dixon almost equals the needs of the rest of the county. And it's very difficult to do that when you have, you know, 3 folks within the department trying to tackle the entire county. So we need to discuss that, you know, from a department and county level with the city, to see if there's anything we could do to help here, because if their ask continues to grow, we're going to be in a difficult position. So,
well, I'm not speaking for or against the city of Amboy, but I've known that there's been a population increase down there again in cats. And so I'm only guessing that eventually we're going to see this spread out throughout all the little towns we've got in, because it's so cute to take in a destitute or, you know,
Yeah.
thrown away cat. So I think maybe we need to pick up on that.
yeah, and I think, and Terry, you might be able to speak on this more historically, but I do believe that there's some participation in the past with other municipalities from a funding mechanism for services, but I'd have to dig into that, and that's just what I've heard. And I'm not sure if that was here or maybe in one of our other regional counties, but we just need to dig into how we could partner better on some of these programs and what we're trying to do from a service perspective. Because again, as I said, you know, the county only has so much capacity currently. And if that is required to grow, we need to figure out a pathway to do so.
Well, I did call down to the vet's clinic there in Amboy just to find out if there were, and whatever they were, any other, you know, resources that could be approached. Because I think we're going to have an ongoing issue with it unless we get it curbed in some form of a control matter like we do that with the dogs.
Yeah, and Terry works with, you know, other organizations, to, you know, try to take care of some of these issues, because again, you know, as Terry said, from just even an operational standpoint, she can only take in so many cats, and dogs, just animals in general, right? And when she's at capacity, it's very difficult to continue to intake. So, you know, the county's department, animal control department, working with our other organizations, you know, is going to be key in some of this and what they can take on. But there's also some programmatic issues with some of the things that don't really jive that we're trying to flesh through as well. So it's going to be a work in progress.
Mhm.
And we've had, you know, conversations surrounding this exact issue. I mean, I know Terry and I started talking about this last year, you know, specifically with cats and how do we fix it?
Mhm.
So work in progress.
It's
Okay.
going to take some time. It's not going to be an overnight thing. These cats did not show up overnight. It's been years of ongoing, everywhere, not just here, but every town. The thing is, people get upset because we do not take cats. The only time I take cats is if someone's passed away, or like in these cases where they've been found out, you know, in the cold. We do take them in. But as far as somebody calling and saying, you know, hey, I want to get rid of my cat, you know, because of whatever, no, I don't, because I don't have the facility and I don't have the help to be able to, because cats are, it's not like, they're okay once you get them changed, you know, their litter box and everything changed, but it does take a while to get all that taken care of. I feel like people want to complain, but they don't really want to help. So they just want to call and say something and not really do anything about it.
Do you get cooperation with the surrounding counties if they should happen to have room or something? Are you able to transfer the animals to that location temporarily?
So shelters are full. Ogle County does not, they don't house cats or dogs. They have contracts with the vet clinics. And I don't even know if they take cats, I don't know. Whiteside has a cat area, but that's almost a thing. That's almost kind of a disease thing. You don't want to take them several different places and have an outbreak of something.
Okay, we need to get something worked out, I think, at least for our benefit
Mhm.
in Lee County, so. I'll get together with you and talk with you. I know that you've talked with Jeremy and probably with Bob. And the process is in the thought process, but I think it could backlash on it. They populate pretty quick, I know,
Oh, yes, they do.
so.
But if we could focus on the big areas maybe, and kind of start there.
Yeah, so last year, like part of the conversations that Terry and I were talking about was having targeted, catch and release drives in these areas where there's a big population spread that we can use our pet population fund for, which is applicable, and it's exactly what, part of that funding mechanism is intended for. But again, it comes down to needing to partner with other entities to handle this, because again, it's a big task for the department to do. We have the resources to assist and the funding to assist. We just need program partners and collaborators. And that's what I think is going to be big for us, is trying to find a shelter partner to assist in this, because they have more funding and more people usually to
Mhm.
help. So that's what we've been talking about. It's just trying to find the right group and one that wants to do it with us.
Okay, anything else, Terry? Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Anybody have any questions?
Terry, you were talking about you've got these cats and maybe some people will come and identify and take them. You're trying, the owners? And some of these cats are,
On the ones that we're trapping?
yes,
No.
Okay.
So these are feral cats.
definitely feral.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely feral.
Now, if those cats are adopted out, does the new owner pay for those? I know some of these
Yes.
other organizations that have, these animals, when you adopt this animal, it's quite expensive, I know, but you pay for what they've got invested in them. Do we do that?
So usually a trap and release is not determined as an adoption. So like I said, a couple of those cats will go back to the owner's property. The rest of them will be taken to a barn someplace. I'm hoping that this one person has resources to take them. That's another big issue, is the resources on where they could go.
I guess my question is, but if someone would adopt one of them feral cats, do we get reimbursed for, like neuter or spaying? that?
So what I've been doing is $50 for a cat. A lot of people may not even want to pay that for a barn cat. So I I don't know, play it by ear. But can't think of, so it's like $125 about, depending on male or female, to have them altered and vaccinated.
Thank
So
you.
There is a difference there.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Terry. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Circuit Clerk, Amy,
Good morning.
good morning.
I do have something. I wanted to just get you caught up on Tyler Technologies and how the project is moving along. We had some representatives from Texas fly up January 21st. We had our project kickoff meeting and they showed us a little presentation, just how we want the project to move along. So since then, their representatives have been here for the past couple of weeks. My office has been in many meetings with them, just going over like our business process and trying to show them how we do things now. So it later on down the road, the transition will be much easier and hopefully it can be done similar to the new system when we go live. With that said, there is an amendment to the contract to include some items that were just inadvertently omitted and are necessary. This doesn't change the scope of the contract or the original contract. We still plan on going forward same way we're doing now. The first item, it's an integration with DigiTicket, which is our vendor for electronic traffic citations that the local police department, sheriff's department, and Illinois State Police use when they issue traffic citations. This is a one-time fee of $7,400, and I'm not asking the county to pay for it. There are available funds in the clerk's funds. That was just missed. The second one, it's added, it's another integration with Vine Services, and that one was just completely forgotten, and that was on my part. But this Vine stands for Victim Information and Notification Every Day. It's a statewide system for crime victims, the public, law enforcement, everyone to use to track the custody status of offenders. And they can be notified either by phone, text, or email. And it just allows them to know like release dates of any offenders if they get out of prison or jail, or if they're transferred to another facility for some reason or another. Again, I'm not asking the county to pay for that. It's a one-time fee of $1,480 that the clerk's office can pay. And that's where we're at. And I think the Tyler representatives are back this week, possibly working with the state's attorney's office. So that's all I've got. If anybody has any questions.
How is the transition taking place? Is it kind of like show and tell, or is it hands-on, or
It's
combination?
kind of like show and tell, yeah. They're called subject matter experts, SMEs is what we're calling them. So one of my clerks who does criminal, she'll be a subject matter in criminal cases, one who handles civil or juvenile, things like that. So they'll walk them through like our business process, like how to put in a warrant, how to take a warrant out, certain things like that day to day when they're in court, how to docket the cases. And they're kind of watching, they're kind of shadowing them and then taking, their notes and taking it back and trying to make it go into their new case management system. Similar, it's probably not always going to be the same way. It'll be different, but to try to keep it as smooth as possible going forward. So that's been the last 2 weeks what we've been doing.
Is there any cross-training going on between your personnel? as
Sure,
far as one
yeah,
responsibility
there
and
will
the
be.
other?
This is more like meetings right now. It's not necessarily training, but we are in the system, if that makes sense. Because we're telling what we're doing now in our current system. And then they're taking that back and trying to see how it works.
Okay,
Fix the glitches and things like that.
thank you. Any more questions for Amy? Okay, thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, we have nothing on the coroner, judges, public defender, EMA. I did say that I approved of it. I said, if not, yes, I did. Come on, guys. Okay. What about the minutes? Are there any additions or subtractions or corrections that need to be done for last month's minutes? If not, we'll stand approved as submitted. Thank you. My apology. I'm too used to the short stuff, the 5 and 10 and out. Okay, so we won't have anything from EMA yet. Unless we can draw Mr. Lally back. Health Department, I have nobody here. Stacy? Would you like to share your information with us?
Sure. Our progression with Tyler continues to move forward. We are waiting for 2 updates on their part, which they're continuing to work on. That will allow us to integrate our drug testing from our office to our lab in California and our results to be uploaded into that system and come back to us instead of taking a trip to the drug testing company to report them and back. They're going to shorten that step for us, so it automatically comes back right into our case entry. So we're waiting for that. That's going to be a nice process and shorten that system that we have right now. It's going to be a little bit more automated, so we're looking forward to that. I talked about this back in December, I believe. We've been working with a kiosk station in both our adult lobby and our juvenile lobby. So if you're able and have time, feel free to stop by and check that out. We have a kiosk in each lobby, so each person that comes into the lobby can go right to that kiosk and sign in. That they have a series of questions that they'll fill out on that kiosk, including their name and their phone number. That information then goes to their officer, and then that notifies their officer that they are in the lobby waiting to be seen. So that eliminates them having to check in with the secretary. So she's focusing on some of our data entry through the Tyler system. So that's allowed her to learn a little bit better and a little bit easier instead of getting interrupted 36 times a day when somebody comes in. The other thing that we have that we're working on is we have a national speaker that's going to be coming to Lee County to talk about drug trends. Myself and a couple of the other department heads, including Charlie and Jeremy and Sheriff Whalen, are working to bring a speaker in that will be on April 9th at the Dixon Theater. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to be doing a presentation from 1 to 4 in the afternoon for law enforcement, treatment, probation, parole, anybody that has an interest in attending that. And then there'll also be a community presentation at 6 o'clock that night. So you'll hear me talk about that probably again in March, just to put it out there a little bit, but we're starting to get some of our advertising out and going for that. So you might see some of that throughout the community here soon.
Sounds good. Are you going to put an email blast out for us senior members so we can remember when it is?
I will, and I'll probably even get you something on paper too, if you'd
All
like.
right, good. Well, that can be lost. The email, we'll drop it there. For both of you, Amy, on the services within the Tyler system, if you have issues, are you receiving what you classify as a quick response or resolution to the problems that you're having?
So when we finished our training, they continued to stay live with us on the computer via Zoom. So anytime we had a question for the next 2 weeks, we could just reach out to them by Zoom and sit down with them, go over that and get our questions answered. Still today, after having been up on it and going for the last, couple of months now, they are actually checking in with us to see how things are going too. And they're doing that periodically just to make sure we don't have any issues. If at any time we have any questions, concerns, or we're in a situation we can't quite get figured out, it's as simple as an email to them and they're right there to help us.
So they're quick to respond.
Very quick.
Okay. All right. Any questions for Stacy? Okay, thank you, Stacy. Appreciate it. Okay. I did read that the sheriff has his reports that are available through the packet. If you'd like to see those, there's some more interesting activity that's gone on there. It seems to be ongoing activity, specifically. I won't go there either. Okay, Mr. Boonstra, State's Attorney's Office.
Thank you, sir. As Ms. Johnson stated, we do have Tyler training going on this week and next week. We're going through business practices and how the system is going to be useful for our office and integrating from where we're at right now with PBK over to Tyler. So that's going on right now. Some of the staff is involved in that. Some of the attorneys are also involved in it. And I believe the public defender's office is also in the afternoons this week and next week as well. Our trial calendar is going through May at this point. You may have also seen too that Doug Lath retired from the public defender's office. So we're in the transition period there with the public defender's office as well. Bob's going to be retiring. I think it's beginning of April. And I believe that Judge Ackert has already signed the order for a new public defender, which would be Will Fox. So we're excited to work with him. Involved in several things right now. The office is running a little bit thin just because of the fact that we have so many special prosecutions going on between Ogle County and Whiteside County. We also have a lot of forensic interviews being done at Shining Star. That involves child abuse, but also Mabley Center too in town here. You see the sheriff's report. And as a matter of perspective with it, obviously we pick up those criminal cases, but we also have Amboy's criminal cases, the state police criminal cases that come through our county, as well as Dixon police cases that are coming through here. So as a perspective of that, while the sheriff is quite busy with his, we also have that those cases coming across our desk. Transitioning again, 20 years, Judge Ackert was presiding over the drug court cases. Now Judge Klon is presiding over those. So we've transitioned with that end of an era, you might say. And then nothing more to report with the collections at this point. I don't have the collections number for January, but certainly I'll get that to you next month.
Okay, that's fine. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Boonstra? Okay, thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. Mr. England, report from Abandoned Property Focus Group.
Yeah, we did not hold a nuisance properties focus group meeting this month, but we do have a couple updates on some of the projects that we've been working on. The Lee Center School project, I had talked with the potential developer, local developer, on an update on what they are proposing from a either housing perspective, or also there's conversations of turning that into a different option, which may be related to sports. I don't have a lot to give on that yet, but I think it's a cool opportunity for the area and some of our, I'm going to say down county school districts to utilize, as they are, limited on space. So some cool options going on there, and some potential ideas. We did get an agreed order of abandonment on our Aldina Infirmary property with the property owner last week in the courts. So we will be assuming deed on that property as well. And so we'll go ahead and move forward once we do on getting that site demolished and cleaned up. And then continuing to have conversations with a potential single family housing developer out there as well, because that's what it's zoned for and that's what we could put in there. So excited about those things. Strong Communities, our grant program with the state of Illinois, is going well. The city of Dixon has finished demolishing 5 of their properties. So we're getting all the information for them to have them get their $75,000 in reimbursement funds that we've agreed to with them. City of Amboy has finished one project, which we already submitted all of the documentation for their reimbursements for their demolishment, and they're looking at another one. So I did actually talk with the mayor last week of Amboy, and they're hoping to get their next proposal to us in short order, because I said we have to have these funds expended by November of this year. And if not, we're going to move forward and use those funds on a few of projects that we looked at ourselves internally. So a lot of things moving forward. Just at the time for our properties meeting, we didn't have any of the updates yet, and now we do. So any questions?
What about the old Aldina School? Is there any action going on there?
Yeah, the folks that bought that facility has done a ton of cleanup out there. A lot of the junk that's been outside has been removed. They're working with salvagers to get all that cleaned up. Jared has been, our compliance officer, has been great with working with them. And I'm not sure where they're at and which phase they are with inside the building with moving their business there, but I know they've been doing a lot of work outside.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Any questions for Jeremy? Could be a considerable further amount of stuff to take a look at, but I think the progress is being made with what's in the process now is going real well. So appreciate the help and the attendance on being up on all of that. It's a lot to be watching. Okay, Mr. Hudson, Northwest Illinois Criminal Justice Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There was no meeting in January and there will be none in February, but our next meeting will be in March.
Okay, anybody have any questions or anything for Mr. Hudson? Okay. Thanks, Mr. Hudson. I don't have anything listed for unfinished business or anything for new business unless somebody has something to bring up. If not, we had Charlie, nothing for executive session. Okay. Since we're free in those three areas, entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Mr. Hudson and Mr. Lally. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.